Hello, good people, and welcome to my podcast, It Has Power. And just thank you for tuning in on this YouTube channel, or it may be on the podcast for those who just want to listen, for those who want to see. I'm trying to have both now since my relaunch. But I just want to welcome you, and we have a special guest, somebody that has empowered me, and I know she's going to empower you. Her name is Nadine Ellis, and she is a financial professional. She knows what she's talking about. Now, I'm one to do a lot of research, okay? And she can look and project things into the future. I ain't talking about no fortune telling stuff now. I'm talking about, you know what? Need to know where you're at and where you're going. You know, the Lord says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So get ready, have your little pen, pencil, and your paper. Give her your undivided attention. And let's please welcome Nadine Ellis. Hello, Nadine.
Hello, Miss Paris. How are you today? I am so
Good.
honored for you to be your guest today on your podcast, your YouTube, wherever it's going to be at. I am honored to be on here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nadine, I know I really, I wanted you because you have many facets to your professional position, that the professional arena that you're in and everything. But I want you to do a sprinkle of a little bit of it all, what you can. However, I want you to focus on long-term care. We're not going to say insurance. We're going to say protection, because I am one who can endorse this. Have it your way now.
Okay, I love that. So a little bit about me. I'm 20 plus years in the business arena and 9+ years in the financial arena. Really love what I do because of these type of topics that you're talking about. A lot of financial professional is just, they want to just sit you down and say, hey, do this, do that. But my main thing is the educational part. And my company, World Financial Group, World System Builder, is on a financial campaign. So when you had asked me to come on to talk about just even one topic that we're on a campaign about, because it's all about protection. And we focus on building your financial house strong. So we always say, how can we help you build your financial house strongly? A lot of time people invest right away, right? But they have to understand your house has to be very solid. And the first part of that solid is protection. And there's different type of protection. There's protection from life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care, short-term care, whatever different type of insurance that is out there, you got to build it strong, because you don't want, if something happened to you, like our topic today is long-term care, that you're not able to do it. And the next structure for us is debt management, how to help a person come out of debt. Then, of course, emergency fund and investment. But tonight, like we're focusing it is on long-term care, of part of the structure that we want people to build their financial house strongly. When we talk about long-term care, a lot of time people think long-term care is for elderly, right? Why they think that way? I remember when I always have a joke that I'm still 25. So I'm still 25 with a 22-year-old daughter. In my head, right? She's like, Mom, when are you going to stop saying you're 25? I was like, we're going to leave it like that.
Okay.
Right? So think about it. When I was saying that we think it's only for elderly. But I want to use an example, and I'm going to use my experience, what have happened to me recently with my daughter. she went on vacation with her friends. The last one was turning 21 to the Bahamas, and she met into a freak accident. It's an accident, a call that no parents would want to get, right? None at all. And from that accident, we had to airlift her from the Bahamas. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital in Florida. I give God thanks of everything that has happened, that we were able to fly her from the Bahamas to the US. And in that journey of her to rehabilitation, everything, it requires long-term care. And what is long-term care? Long-term care is, you cannot at least do you need help, right? You need help for clothing, maybe taking a shower, going to the bathroom. You need someone to assist you, even to feed you, all that. You need someone to help you in some way, some form. And of course, it will be, you need help more than 90 days. Because there's certain clause that they require for long-term care. But even you think about short-term care, it is still care, right, Miss Paris?
Yes,
it's still
yes.
care. And I had to pause everything to really focus on her, to help her out. So think of a 22-year-old that cannot come out of bed, unable to walk on her own, unable to take a shower on her own, unable to do all that on her own. So she needed care.
Right.
So so that's my experience. And look, if there's certain things were in place that I know I could have triggered, or I could have done to make sure that she's okay. And I'm okay too, because still bills to be paid, right, Miss Paris?
That's right.
Bills had to be paid. And because bills has to be paid, you still have to have money to take care of those bills. So that long-term care protection is needed for everything that you could think of, because hey, it needs to be triggered to help out with bills, right? To pay for medical care, medical bills, whatever it is. So you think of the 22-year-old now that needs long-term care. Did I ever imagine that she will need long-term care? Yes. No, yes. You know why? Because I'm in the industry that I'm seeing it.
Yeah. And you know what, Nadine, that's because you're in that industry. So let me just inject something right now. If that had happened to a 22-year-old, that their mother was not a financial professional, the 22-year-old, she's working, she has some health insurance, okay? She's in a car accident. She didn't go to Bahamas. She had a car accident, all right? Now, she's out of work. She, her personal days, she done used up and everything, and most likely don't have no money saved. What could that person have done if they didn't have anything else? Because that would be like the normal scenario, because a lot of people think, okay, no, your daughter went to the Bahamas and had a freak accident, and it just so happens that her mother was a financial professional. But the average everyday situation is like, what do you do? What is plan B?
Right. And that is a good question, because what is plan B is, a lot of time they don't have plan B. And you don't, right? Because you say, okay, I'm young. I don't need any protection. I don't need even short-term disability. I don't need all those things, right? So, and it's, I don't need those things. But what will be plan B? It will be difficulty for me to say what will be her plan B, because plan B would be, now if she lives by herself, more likely she got to move back home somewhere, right? Or
Right. That's
somebody
right.
got to come in to help out.
Right.
Because if you don't have a certain amount with your insurance policies, health insurance, there is not going to be enough coverage, and it takes a while for it to kick in.
That's right. That's right.
So we still got to be prepared, because that long-term care kicks in after 90 days.
After
So
90
we
days.
still got to know clause with long-term care protection. And
Right.
that's why where I said that with an emergency fund needs to have,
That's right.
because with the long-term care insurance or protection that you have, it needs, you need to have a plan B.
That's
And
right.
plan B, if no savings or nothing, or the parents or whoever is not financially able, um, that's why we see a lot of family, or they cannot they cannot pay their rent anymore, they cannot do certain things anymore, so they have to rely on GoFundMe,
Mhm.
um, all of those things, you know. And now a lot of people like, hey, I'm not contributing to any GoFundMe. You should have been prepared,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. And
And
Nadine, and not to cut you off, but I just want to say this too. Just when you're saying this, COVID, we're starting to get used to it. We're getting used to this COVID, wearing the mask and everything like that. But you know, it's another thing that we need to start getting used to. And I'm one that do not like to procrastinate at all. You know, I know one back years ago, but um people don't have money to do GoFundMe now. People, you know, groceries are inflation and everything. You know, a lot of older people to say, well, you know, my young kids, that when they grow up, they're going to take care of me. Yeah, they may have good intentions. People have got to learn to be prepared, have plan B ready. Everything is moving. So you got to have something in place. And when you say like younger people, they think, well, I'm young, nothing, this is not going to happen. People with COVID, um, young ones dying, old ones dying, things are changing.
yes,
Things are changing with inflation. So that's why I'm having this podcast to, in the different areas, prepare, prepare for the future. If you don't be here, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're here, what is plan B?
and what is plan B? And that's where, like you're saying, that what will be your plan B? You have to really sit down with a financial professional like myself and really put down what your goals are
Yes.
and what that plan B will be. You know, if it's for, like, our topic is long-term care. So one scenario right there is young people being prepared. You say you take a small amount of money to make a big plan. You get what I mean? You
Right.
might not have 100,000 put away, or 200,000, whatever it is, might that the cost may occur for care, right?
Right.
Because one thing, it's very expensive for care. How much you gonna pay someone to come in an hour to take care of you? Suppose you need 24-hour care. How are you going to afford 24-hour care? It's like $19 an hour for someone to come in to take care of you. Times 19 by 24 hours, how much will that be?
That's right.
But so it is very costly. So if you can use a small amount every month and paying for that long-term care protection, so when you need it, you know, it's just like your car insurance, right?
That's right.
You have a car insurance, you don't know when you're going to need it. You have a house insurance, rental
Don't know when
insurance,
you're
you have
gonna
all
need it.
these things. You
Right.
don't know when you're going to need it. So it's the same thing with long-term care. You will never know when you're going to need it. It doesn't matter at what age. So you need to get prepared. So I give the example of a young person. Now think of now when you, like you said, you're at the age now that life is happening. Your body, you can,
Right.
Alzheimer's is kicking in.
That's
You
right.
know, it is some,
That's
the
why I'm trying to
percentage of,
drink my water so I can keep that Alzheimer's down.
right? We don't know, right?
That's
When
right.
it's going to kick in.
That's
So,
right.
body aches, pain, whatever, you cannot take care of yourself. The
That's right.
older you get, is the least your joints and stuff gonna start deteriorating.
That's right.
So now, when you say, "Hey, I'm gonna go into an assistant living," or "I need
Mm-hmm.
someone to come into the house to take care of me,"
Mm-hmm.
it's 24-hour care
That's
still,
right.
right? So we be prepared for that. So you have different long-term insurance to kick in to help you to pay that
That's right.
someone to come in.
That's
Just
right.
making sure that you have in place. It's not a whole lot um, that you have to pay on a monthly basis.
Especially
And
when
it
you're younger, if you're trying to get it while you're older, it costs.
There you go. And that's why we're saying be prepared at a younger age. So when you're getting this information, it's not about, hey, um, am I too young to get it? No, you're never too young. Am I too old to get it? Unfortunately, yes, sometimes it is, right? It at a certain age, they like, no, you're closer to the maker, they will say, right? So yes, you're closer to the maker because
Right,
they
right.
have a life expectation that woman is 85, man is 82. So the you get is the more costly it will be for you.
That's right.
So
That's right.
how we definitely got to be prepared for life to happening in the future. And like you said, Miss Paris, sometimes our children really want to help you out, but they have their life too.
They got their
And they
life too.
cannot and they cannot afford it, you know? And then you as an adult coming into their house, you're frustrated, they're frustrated.
Mhm.
You get what I mean? You don't want to be a burden on them.
That's right.
So
You don't
there's
want to
so
be a
much
burden. You don't want
burden.
to.
And
Mhm.
someone was saying, Nadine, but I don't think my mother or my father is a burden. I don't think so either. But take it or not, when they come into your house, if it will feel like it, and
Mhm.
it will be very overwhelmed. I know I was overwhelmed for so much months when it happened. I was very overwhelmed.
Right, right.
I was exhausted. I was tired.
Yes.
So I could talk from experience. It's like I know, and my daughter was sad. She cried. She's like, "Mom, I'm sorry to call
Oh,
you any hours of the night. I'm sorry, Mom." And I'm like, "Don't be sorry." She's like, "I'm tired of you. Are you tired of me, Mom?" No, you
no.
know. So reverse it now. When I get older, right, and she has to take care of me, that's the same way I'm gonna feel.
That's right. That's right.
It's the
That's
same
so
exact way I will feel. So it could make each person get be depressed,
yes, right.
because you feel that is so much, but it is a lot. And we
It
have
is a
to do what
lot.
we have to do. It is a
It's
lot of work when you have to close them, you gotta feed them, you gotta wash them. You got to do so much. You are burned out.
yes.
You will get burned out if you're constantly doing it 24 hours
That's right.
of
That's right.
the day.
That's right.
So
That's
I
right.
really want everyone to really think about putting things in place for yourself, from long-term care, short-term care, the right amount of protection. Those are living benefits when it
Living
comes to
benefits.
insurance
That's right.
policy.
That's right.
Living benefit.
That's right.
We talk about life insurance. Sometimes people think it's only death benefit, but no, these are living benefits that have components within it, that has long-term care and have short-term care, critical care. All of those things are living benefits within an insurance policy.
Right. Nadine, I just want to thank you. Like I was telling you earlier, that me and my husband are getting ready to take a road trip to come to Georgia. And, our children, they see us moving around and we're still going and everything like that. But I know that time is changing and everything. But I just want to thank you and your organization for the financial education, because most people didn't get financial education in their, the older generation didn't get that. They didn't receive it. And my thing is that I want people to know, get your house in order. That was one of my podcast themes last year. Get your house in order, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially. Because the thing is that when you got to pay your bills, the people are not going to say, well, okay, I know you know the Lord, and it's not happening, So I do want to say to all the younger people, I know the times are different now. There's a lot of people don't have jobs, whether it's by choice or they're not paying enough, whatever. But be ready for plan B. That's all I'm saying. However you get there, be creative. Get into business where you can say, you know what? While I'm doing my 9 to 5, I still have a career and learning about finances, because the world is changing. It really is changing, And I'm glad that we got on board. I'm just saying, and I just want to share because, I thank God we raised our.
And I'm glad that you did, to Miss Paris, because one thing that, like you said, when I met you a few years ago, you have always have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. You have many plans. You have so much backup plan.
It relieves stress.
It does relieve stress because you have things in place that if something happened to you and your husband, you're okay. You're not dependent on your children.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
That's why you have, right. And if you have to, it's not for a long period of time.
Right.
Because when you got the information, you jumped on it. And that's why we're having this conversation. Guys, you're hearing about long-term care. Go research more about it.
That's right.
Contact us, contact us. Let us sit down and really break it down to you of how you can put it in place for yourself. That's because right. It's really necessary to have it in place. So you're young now, the price is a little less. The older you get, it's going to be more. But it doesn't matter what age you receive the message. When you receive it, it's time for you to jump on it.
That's if you do
it. I was just about to use your if you do it. Because you could get all this, you could hear about it. We're having and giving examples, and there's so much scenario. I have so much example of young, middle age, different age. We have a friend that had cancer, right? That she had to trigger her long-term care in it. So these are things that within our insurance policy, she had to trigger her long-term care to take care of her. For 2 years now, her long-term care is taking care of her for 2 years. And it happened when she was in her 30s. 30 something, 30 right? Something. 39, 38. Develop cancer, and I could talk about because she talks about it freely, and she said, Nadine, always share it because we got to know that there's different. It's not have to be accident. It can be cancer. It can be. I've known terminal illness triggered that you need to trigger your long-term care insurance policy or protection policies. Right. So it doesn't have to be an accident. It can be all,
That's
medical, right. Other medical reasons that you need to trigger it for. So
Nadine, I want to make sure that you send me your information. I pretty much got everything I need, I think, and sure. I'm going to make, plan B. But anyway, I will put that information on the YouTube, and also I will incorporate it for the podcast. Okay. You guys, I want to tell you something. Like I said, Nadine, where are you from originally?
I am from the beautiful island of Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Yes. I'll
Yes.
tell everyone it's the most beautiful island ever.
Yeah, I would like to go to. We went to the Bahamas and everything, but the thing is that when we get this information, you guys, it's just so important that we, if we don't use it, empower somebody else to do it. Okay. And if you ever want to get with them, joining with them, nobody's going to be knocking down your door or whatever, just to get the education, and then you make an informed decision. That's what all this is about. Okay. And, Nadine, I just
And the
want
workshops are free, Miss Paris.
that's right. Yes.
I have to throw that in. The
Yes.
workshops are free. My consultation is free. I do not charge for consultation.
Right.
And so jump on it.
Yeah.
And
you even have things for for the children, whether for preparing for college, and because look, we don't know whether the president gonna be paying for these kids going to school. We don't, I mean, not the president, but you know what I'm talking about. We have to get things in place as far as their education, whether they are going to be entrepreneurs / going to their day job, like that. That's something you and that y'all decide on what y'all gonna do and everything like that. But I do know this: time is winding up. Time is winding up. Things are changing, and get this information and just please share it. All right. And if you like this podcast, if you like the YouTube, please like it, and then be sure to subscribe so that you can see the future guests that I'm going to have. And then also I'm going to bring some some items myself. Okay, Miss Nadine, thank you.
Okay, Miss
so much. I know you're a busy woman. Okay.
I'm never too busy to be on any program that you have, and never too busy to share what I'm able and how to help my community move from financial insecurity to financial security.
Okay, it's one thing I don't have though. Guess what I don't have that I'm planning to do this year? And you guys, I'm going to admit it right now, okay? Because I had something at one time, but we was moving around and all this kind of stuff like that. But I need to get something in place because we had sold our home, and so we're just like freestyle, like that. So I wasn't thinking about a whole lot of, property or nothing like that. But we need to get our will and power of attorney and all that stuff in place. Okay. So, I'll be getting with you about that. All right.
Okay, Miss Paris, no problem. No problem.
All right.
I will take good care of you, Miss Paris. And
I
Mr.
know you do. I know you do. Take care, dear. Okay. And again, thank you,
Miss Paris, and thank you very much for having me on. And everyone, like Miss Paris said, please subscribe to her channel because it means so much what she's doing for the community, and it's to enrich and to empower our community. Thanks again, Miss Paris.
Right on. Thank you, dear.
All right. Take care.
Bye. All right. Bye-bye.